To write decimals is fractions and mixed numbers. So let's take a closer look at this page. All right, decimals like 0 in 25 hundredths, 0 in 15 hundredths, 0 in 31 hundredths, and 0 in 29 hundredths can be written as fractions with denominators of 10, 100, or 1,000, and so on, 10,000, 100,000. Any number that can be written as a fraction is called a rational number. So there's a new vocabulary word for you. Decimals like 3 and 25 hundredths, 26 and 82 hundredths, and 125 and 54 hundredths can be written as mixed numbers in simplest form. What makes this a mixed number? Well, if we were to look at 3 and 25 hundredths and change that into a fraction, 3 is in my ones place, so that's my whole number, that's the ones place, and 25 hundredths is the fraction part. So that's what makes that a mixed number. It has a whole number and a fraction part. And of course I can simplify that into 3 and 1/4. So if I were to take a closer look at those numbers, I would know 3 and 25 hundredths is the same as 3 and 1/4. So we're going to be getting into looking at these kind of numbers today. So example, number 1, write each decimal as a fraction in simplest form. So the place value chart shows that the place value of the last decimal place is tenths. So right there, it's only a number in the tenths. So we call that number 6/10. So we say 6/10. So if we can say it using what we know about place value, we just say it and then we simplify it. So 6/10, if I divide both 6 and 10 by 2, I get 3/5. And the book already did that, 3 and 5 down there. So 6/10 is equal to 3/5. Okay, 0 and 45 hundredths. Since 5 ends in the hundredths place, it's right here in our chart, we say 45 hundredths, so we can write it as a fraction, how we say it. We're going to divide both 45 and 100 by 5. And 45 divided by 5 is 9. And 20 divided by 5, or 100 divided by 5 is 20. So that's how we go from this decimal to that fraction. And the third one, we have a number that has 1,000 as a denominator because the 3 is in the tenth spot, the 7 is in the hundredth spot, and the 5 is in the thousands. So we would say 375 thousandths. Now I need to divide both 375 and 1,000 by the same factor. And if I remember correctly, 125 goes into both of those. So 375 divided by 125 is 3, and 1,000 divided by 125 is 8. So 375 thousandths as a decimal is equal to 3/8 as a fraction. Go ahead and try A, B, and C. See if you understand this, and you can pause it. I'm going to go on to the next page, and we're going to look at another example. Example 4. The average length of a conch shell is 9.87 inches. So they're talking about this shell right here is 9.87 inches. Okay. Express 9.87 or 9 and 87 hundredths as a mixed number in simplest form. Oh boy, I see an error. Let's change this to a 5 to match the problem. Okay, so that's an error there in this book. So 9 and 85 hundredths looks like that as a fraction. I can simplify by dividing 85 by 5 and 100 by 5, and that's how they got 17/20. So 9 and 17/20 is the same as 9 and 85 hundredths. Okay, got it? Do this problem to find out. You can go ahead, pause the tape, and I will get us into the next lesson. Join me when you're ready. Okay, for fractions with denominators that are factors of 10, 100, or 1,000, you can write equivalent or equal fractions with these denominators. So let's take a look at number 5. Write 9/12 as a decimal. So they started with 9/12. Well, that denominator 12 cannot be changed into 100 or a 10 or 1,000. But if we simplify it first, it can be changed to 3/4. So this part here, they actually took the 9/12 and said, okay, I can write an equivalent fraction. And I can call this, instead of 9/12, I can call it 3/4. So now they're telling you, okay, now look at the new denominator I have. It's 4. And I know 4 can go into 100. So I can change my denominator into 100. So 4 times 25 is 100. 3 times 25 is 75. That's how they got to the 75 hundredths. And just like we learned in the last lesson, I can rewrite that as a decimal, 75 hundredths. Okay, the second method. So we can work a little bit with that fraction and change it and convert it. If we don't want to do that, or if we can't figure out how to do that, 9/12, that bar, that fraction bar, actually means divide. So I can say, okay, 9/12. I'm going to put the 9 on the inside because 9's being divided up by 12. Well, can a small number be divided by a big number? It sure can. Remember what we learned about in the one lesson, dividing without remainders? Put your decimal there, bring it up. Let's add 2 zeros. Okay, so 12 will not go into 9, but it will go into 90 7 times. And 7 times 12 is 84. Subtract and you get 6. Bring down that 0 that we annexed. You call it annexing. 12 goes into 60 5 times. And 12 times 5 is 60. Okay, so that is how 9/12 could also equal 75 hundredths. So to look back, we can either use method 1, write an equivalent fraction, or we can do method 2 where we divide. Go ahead and try the bottom got it and come in tomorrow and come with some good questions. It's okay if you get stuck. Ask for help. Have a great night.